Hey, what's up triathletes? Taren here. One of the most common questions that I get asked is what type of shoe I recommend for over-pronators, under-pronators, supinators, people with flat feet, people with high arches. My answer is typically don't worry about the shoes that you select, worry about fixing the solution if you have injury-prone feet by strengthening those feet. So stick around because today I'm going to go through the strength routine that I incorporate throughout the year to keep my feet strong and injury-free. Just like a lot of other runners and triathletes out there, I have gone through a history of foot injuries. I've had pain in my arch, pain in my heel, I've had shin splints, and I've also had the standard rhetoric from running shoe stores that I needed stability shoes and more structure and arch support. And in the first few years of me getting into triathlon, no matter what shoe I tried, I kept getting injured. What finally ended up fixing it was going through a regular strength routine to keep my feet healthy so that I wasn't just putting a band-aid on the problem with a shoe. Now we're gonna get up close and personal with these cute little digits of mine. Look at these babies, look at these. You're gonna get to see my Walking Dead socks. That's right. Now for starters, what I did was I took off my shoes. I spent a lot of time in the office, even in my dress clothes, barefoot. The more you can walk around barefoot, the more you're gonna force your feet to strengthen up. So throughout the day, if I didn't have meetings or if coworkers didn't have clients coming in, I would be walking around barefoot. I would also try to make a point of going for a walk just to get a drink of water or heading to get a coffee or even standing up and doing a little bit of work occasionally throughout the day so that I was constantly testing my feet as opposed to just sitting and letting them atrophy throughout the day. And if I was just sitting, I got a spiky roller that I would roll my feet on to roll out any knots that had built up over the week. Now, in addition to just being barefoot a little bit more regularly, there were some strengthening exercises that I did day to day. The first one was walking around on the tiptoes, the heels, the inside, and the outside of my feet. This is really good for strengthening all different aspects of your foot movement. As triathletes and runners, we get very good at going in a straight line all the time. A lot of injuries happen when we've got to jump from side to side, go over a curb, jump down, or make a sharp turn. Putting your feet in these awkward positions strengthens all the different stability muscles required to have a healthy foot. So what I would do is around the house, I would take maybe 50 steps on my tiptoes, 50 steps on my heels, 50 steps on the side of my feet, 50 steps on the inside of my feet. And I would do that a couple times a week. The next couple of movements that I did were more stationary. One is curling up your toes along the ground. Try to pull your toes forward along the ground, or a good way to do this is put a towel under your toes and see if you can curl that towel up. The next one seems really simple, but it's very, very hard because sitting in shoes all day, our toes tend to atrophy and the muscle memory doesn't really know how to fire in the last few toes in our feet. So you can just sit there or lie on the couch while you're watching TV and spread your toes apart and then curl them up. Spread your toes apart and curl them up, focusing on getting some separation in the last couple of toes, the pinky, the baby. Then separate and curl up your toes maybe 20 to 30 times. And then the last thing that I would worry about is about overall flexibility in your ankle and your shins. For this, I would do two movements. One is something known more as a swimmer's movement, just lying down with your feet extended along the floor, point your toes down, and pull them back up. And then do counterclockwise circles with your toes, and then clockwise circles with your toes. Then point your toes in, and then spread the feet apart. Do each of these movements about 10 to 12 times, and then once your ankles and calves are loosened up, then you can get into more static stretches. One static stretch that I use for ankle flexibility is just sitting on your feet, and I'll only do this for about 60 seconds. Just make sure you stop before it hurts. And the last static stretch that I'll do isn't really a static stretch if you do it right. I would do a typical calf stretch, but I would move around my knee and my ankle, rolling around to get that little bit of strength from side to side and that little bit of flexibility from side to side. Bounce a little bit, not so much that you're putting tears into your muscles, but just ease into the stretch gradually as opposed to just going down to a point where you've got a very sharp stretching pain and causing injury. Now, hopefully, if you do all of those consistently, maybe 2 or 3 times a week for 5 to 10 minutes each time, your feet are going to strengthen up. One warning that I'm gonna give is if your feet start getting stronger, your arch is probably gonna lift up and you're probably gonna have smaller feet in a little while. I've actually gone down an entire shoe size. If you have any questions or you want to let me know how it works, hit me up in the comments below, or you can get me on social media at all the socials of the media at Triathlon Taren, except for Snapchat, which is still A-Race Taren. As always, happy and hard training triathletes, and good luck in your next triathlon.